Alrighty, I guess it's time to talk about Officer Tatum. I've had this video sitting here as one I wanted to look at for like almost a month now, but so much of the stuff that I cover now has to do with the COVID vaccine and conservative responses to it. And I'm going to be honest, I'm getting more than a little tired of that. Just very tired. But, you know, here we are, and despite the fact that I am very tired, and I really don't want to talk about Tatum, we're going to do it anyway. Because, well, I hate myself, I guess. So, anyway, let's go ahead and just throw that off, and let's get into the fan art section. Alright? Alright, good. I'm glad we agreed on that, despite you not being able to speak and me being the only one on this side of the screen who can. From Ivana Dragmeyer said, just a little work in progress for you guys. I've actually seen the final version of this, or at least what I think is the final version of this, going down. So I guess I will show that in another episode. The next one we have here is from Dark Sigrid, with a name in the first name I cannot pronounce. I just can't. Why won't chat stop with the forbidden words? And then apparently Slime Suris in the back going, chat, make him say it. That is a lot of boobage. I mean, I guess my character does have a lot of boobage. I can't escape it. Anyway, as always, thank you all for your fan art submissions, and it is greatly appreciated. If you want your fan art shown on an episode in the future, the best way to do so is by dropping it into the fan art section of the Discord, though the Discord is currently in a bit of lockdown right now, so you'll have to get in contact with a mod when you get in. We had some lovely hate raids in there. Had to go take care of them. Some people just have way too much time on their hands. Anyway, Officer Tatum, make me regret all of my decisions about being on YouTube.
Sure, it's about the booster.
Oh god, why was that so loud? Why was that one so loud? Why did you do that to me?
It was brought to you by beatingblackandblue.com. Beatingblackandblue.com, my brand new book that's out.
I don't care about your book, but you know what? You know what? You did plug. You did plug. We have things we have to do here when you plug, okay? So, Tatum, because you plugged, I need to let you guys know that if you want any type of sex toys to pleasure yourself and or violently hate yourself too, I don't know what you guys do with them, nor do I care. But if you want them, you can head to ddlgplayground.com and use coupon code Suris, and then you'll be able to get anything you want there 10% off. So there, you can do that. There, we've done our plug. Continue, Tatum. Tatum. Fuck.
I mean, it was difficult being a police officer, and now I can't even imagine being a police officer today with all the division and the CRT and all this fake, y'all here killing black people and all this other stuff. I couldn't imagine being a police officer, but I wrote a...
Oh my god. Okay, Tatum, you do know that we have, like, actual statistics, right? We have actual statistics that show that by and large, there is a higher rate of violence towards African Americans in the United States from police officers. Like, that's a matter of statistic. Like, you somehow personally might not have participated in that, you might not have experienced that personally, but the data's in. And it's FBI statistics. These are statistics that you have access to. Statistics that likely you guys have had to use in profiling for other cases back when you were a cop and not a freaking drama profiteer. Like, you had access to that shit. You used it, but now it's magically a lie, apparently.
About it. I wrote about a little bit of my background. I wrote about defunding the police. What are the ramifications? Police brutality. What are real police brutality situations versus fake ones? I mean, I go through almost every single subject matter of policing in America in the book. I interview at least 5 police officers so they can give their perspective of different races, different departments.
Okay, that's all cool and all, but what I'm talking about is not 5 individual bits of anecdotal evidence. What I'm talking about is data. You know, that cumulative set of facts that we can use to analyze trends. And if you pick out 5 individual officers who just so happen to have not experienced racism in their particular departments, it doesn't change the fact that those trends still are consistent. I don't know what part of this is weird to you?
Some retired, some not, and giving their perspective also, where it's not just me. It's not just me running my mouth. It's other people who also have experiences at the very end of the book. And
okay, that's cool. We're gonna go to where he starts talking,
and then we're gonna discuss it, right?
Okay.
This is from the CDC. You got this. This dude is so fraudulent. I want to pull my hair out and burn it.
You don't have that much hair to begin with, bud. But I guess I gotta get over here so you can see Tatum. Like he's kind of like behind my butt, and I'm not really comfortable with him there. All things considered, I guess you're just gonna have to deal with the fact that he's over there. You know what? No, we can do it like, fuck it. He's behind my ass. There's no way around it. Okay, so the Dr. Anthony Fauci is fraudulent thing. I don't know if I actually would trust you as a police officer, Tatum. I don't, because I don't know by which criteria you are determining that he is fraudulent. Let's see if maybe you extrapolate on that.
That's how upset I get every time I see this fool on the camera. How in the is he still a virologist? And he's the most he sends the most mixed, confused signals I have ever seen in my life. Been wrong 100 times.
Wrong about what? Because wait, hold on. 100 times. Did you actually calculate that? Was that a number pulled out of your butt? Like, okay, so here's the thing. Why is he still one of the most renowned virologists? Because he's not fucking wrong. He's giving information and data as it has been given to him, as it has been fed to him, in the best way that he can communicate it. I would need a specific example, though, because, like, literally, if I were to go look up 15 different ways in which the things that Fauci said have been correct, then you'll find 15 ways in which he apparently wasn't, likely in ways that will be missing all kinds of context.
But I'm gonna listen to what this young lady says. Rachel Walensky. She's a director of the CDC. She's a director of the CDC, so she's one of the directors. And this guy is the U.S. Surgeon General. Remember the black guy used to be the Surgeon General? Well, they got rid of that and put in this guy. So these people are directors of the CDC. All right, roll the film.
And maybe if I might, Jeff, just add, another piece of data that we've been looking at is our international colleagues who are ahead of us, both in the Delta surge, as well as have vaccinated a few weeks ahead of us in terms of large portions of their population that have been vaccinated. And data we're seeing from our international colleagues, specifically and especially Israel, have demonstrated a worsening of infections amongst vaccinated people over time. And so we remain concerned about that, as we see in the context of...
Okay, so you guys can't see it because he's behind my ass. I'm gonna move him here so you can see his facial expressions. That way it's not this, because listen, this is when he feels like he's gotten his juicy bit. Watch.
And so we remain concerned about that, as we see in the context of Delta variant.
That is the moment. That is the moment right there where he thinks he's got his juicy bit. Now, I'm going to make a prediction as somebody who hasn't actually seen this video all the way through. Again, just for those who don't know, when I'm doing stuff on this channel, I try to do it as organically as possible. So I watched the first bit of a video and then started. If it's a subject matter that I know decently okay, which, the epidemiology of COVID is something that I kind of know okay, I generally will go into it. So I have no idea what he's actually going to say here, but I'm going to make the prediction that he's going to say that because we have higher rates of infections, he's going to read it as infections, but it's infections where the Delta variant's concerned, amongst vaccinated people, that the vaccine doesn't work. I think that's going to be the position that he takes. Now, despite the fact that the mRNA vaccine for COVID was developed before the Delta variant came out, before the variant after that came out, it was developed earlier. Now, it can help with the Delta variant, but we are seeing that it is not as strong against the Delta variant as it is with the variants that it was literally designed to combat. Now, here's the question. If I made a screw, okay, and this screw has a Phillips head slot, and I handed you a Phillips head screwdriver to take care of this Phillips head screw, And then as you're unscrewing it, I make a new screw. I make a flathead screw. I'm inventing it now. I am the inventor of these screws. Screw you, whoever the fuck invented them. And I put that flathead screw in there, and you still have the Phillips head screwdriver, and I ask you to please unscrew the next screw, but that screw is not a Phillips head anymore. It's a flathead. Now, you might, with some time, be able to jam that Phillips head screwdriver in there in such a way that contorts the metal so that you can get a bit of purchase on it and then unscrew it. But the fact is, the tool was not designed for this particular job. It may be able to do this job, but it's not going to do this job anywhere near as well as a tool designed for it. And this is assuming that I'm using cheap enough screws to where you can actually contort this metal instead of just stripping your Phillips head screwdriver.
Some breakthroughs that are occurring and decreased vaccine effectiveness that is occurring in the context of infection. We are watching other
There's
countries,
the face.
the experience of other countries carefully and concerned that we
There's the face. Look at that. Okay. This is actually getting me kind of mad. I'm so glad you're not a police officer anymore. Your ability to ascertain if somebody was actually, like, doing anything worth responding to on... like, at a site of a crime, I would hold in question because of this fucking face.
What Israel is seeing, which is worsening infections over time.
Okay. You heard what she said. Don't mind me, because I know sign language, and the interpreter wasn't communicating at first, and it threw me off. And then I also wonder, well, is she communicating what she's really saying? I know sign language, so I kind of had to pay attention to that, because I didn't want, to catch these people trying to lie to you, especially people who are hard of hearing. So let's go to a clip from Joe Rogan, because I feel like that this clip.
Wait. Can we get your commentary on the thing? I don't give a fuck about Joe Rogan. Dude probably drinks bull piss. I don't give a fuck about Joe Rogan.
You put these two together, and it'll give you a reasonable perspective. Road of film.
Okay, so mind, we have information communicated by an expert that Tatum is likely going to misinterpret. Again, I don't know. We'll see when he actually gets to it, if he gets to it. And then here we have information communicated by a podcaster. The largest podcaster, to be sure, but by a podcaster. Why the fuck do I care what Joe Rogan thinks? Give me his expertise that makes me want to care about the things he says.
Doctors have been sending me these things, and this is neither pro nor con vaccine. This is not a judgment statement, but imperfect vaccination can enhance the transmission of highly virulent pathogens.
Right.
So this is a scientific paper from 2015 that shows that here's one important quote: vaccines that keep the host alive but still allow transmission can thus allow virulent strains to circulate in a population.
Okay, so does everybody see the problem here? I know that, like, I'm just gonna throw this out there. I know that not everybody is well versed in how vaccines work, the different kinds of vaccines. I understand that. But there's a red flag that just raised to me if you didn't catch it. These are vaccines that create host bodies, right? Or the host bodies. Okay. Is this about mRNA vaccines? Like, is this about mRNA vaccines? Because if it's not, then what the fuck does it have to do with the topic we're talking about? mRNA vaccines are a different beast altogether from the vaccines that you and I are used to. The technology behind them is newer. And the way they function is ever so slightly different. Research that is about the types of vaccines that we use, where we give you like a dead virus and shit, and then your body categorizes it in its primary response, and then goes into its secondary response easier later on down the road, is different than how an mRNA vaccine functions. So any research that you bring up about our standard classic vaccines is not going to apply perfectly. It's not going to be perfectly analogous to how an mRNA vaccine functions. And yet Tatum is bringing this up when we're talking about the COVID vaccine, which is an mRNA vaccine.
So,
all right, I think that's enough. I think Joe Rogan said it, and I'm gonna put the two and two together for you.
You can't put the two and two together because an mRNA vaccine and a classic vaccine are very, very different in this particular scenario. You can't grab one and then try to have a perfect analogy for the other. But you're taking 2 points that do not diverge perfectly and trying to cram them together as if they do.
The original statement that was made by the director of the CDC, one of the directors of the CDC, the statement that was made was talking about the booster shot, right? She openly admitted that they are seeing an incredible decrease in effectiveness over time, which means that when you get it, it's going to cause you to be in a worse position than before you got it. That's
what? No, that's not what was said. What? Okay, Tatum. No. Okay. Listen, dude. Okay, I got a question. If I hand you a shield, okay, and that shield is there's a 100% big fucking kite shield, but over time I break bits and pieces off the shield, so it is progressively smaller. Are you worse off than before I handed you the shield? No, dumbass. Effectiveness of a vaccine decreasing over time does not mean that you are worse off after the decrease happens. Because there is still a percentage of transmission rate that is affected. There is still a percentage of symptoms that is affected. There's still a percentage of ability to contract that is affected. Tatum, come on, dude. I want to say you're smarter than this, but I've seen enough of your content to know that you're really not, and I hate that.
That's the way I read it. Then when you listen to what Joe Rogan said from a peer-reviewed paper.
Yeah, what again? Why? Okay, so here's the thing. Joe Rogan glanced at the abstract of that peer-reviewed paper and gave you functionally the same level of analysis that I would be able to give you about that paper, which is not an expert opinion. You don't need to be going to Joe Rogan for your expert opinion on how vaccines work. At the very least, read the goddamn paper yourself. Barring that, hand that paper to an epidemiologist. Hand that paper to a virologist. Hand that paper to somebody who works in biochem at all, who will be able to make heads or tails of it.
Saying that if it's a vaccination that is not killing the host and is not eliminating the host, it is creating more volatile variants. That's why you see the Delta variant. That is probably a direct effect of people getting vaccinated with this experimental vaccine.
Oh my god. No! It's not an experimental vaccine! Jesus fucking Christ! Okay, no. No. Tatum. No. We know exactly how many people were used in the trial periods for each and every one of these vaccines. They are not experimental vaccines. We know what they do. We know how they function. What we're getting is population data. The thing that's changing is not the vaccine. The vaccine is not the experiment. The thing that's changing is the mutation of COVID. Your theory seems to be that by people getting vaccinated, they are creating these extra variants. Now, give me just a fucking second. How did the Delta variant start? So, let's go to the CDC. Let's do some reading together, okay? You and me. Reading. together. Okay. Delta variant. What we know about the science. On July 27th, 2021, CDC released updated guidance on the need for urgently increasing COVID vaccine coverage and a recommendation for everyone in areas of substantial or high transmission to wear a mask in public and indoor places, even if they are fully vaccinated. The CDC issued this new guidance due to several concerning developments and newly emerging data signals. First, a significant increase in new cases reversed what had been a steady decline since January 2021 in the days leading up to the guidance update. CDC saw a rapid and alarming rise in COVID-19 case and hospitalization rates across the country. In late June, the 7 moving day average of reported cases was around 12,000. On July 27th, the 7-day moving average was about 60,000. The case rates looked more like the rate of cases we'd seen before the vaccine was widely available. New data has begun to emerge that the Delta variant was more infectious and was leading to increased transmissibility when compared to other variants, even in some vaccinated individuals. So, what's happening here, Tatum, is not the Delta variant is being created because of the vaccines. The Delta variant is functioning in spite of the vaccines, because it is a more highly transmissible variant of the virus. So this includes recently published data from the CDC and our public health partners, unpublished surveillance data that will be publicly available in the coming weeks. Information includes the CDC's updated science brief on COVID vaccines and the ongoing outbreak investigations linked to the Delta variant. Delta is currently the predominant variant of the virus in the United States, and below is a high-level summary of what the CDC scientists have recently learned about the Delta variant. More information will be available when more data is published. Okay, cool. So, let's take a look at this, because this is from the CDC, Officer Tatum, and I bemoan the death of expertise. In fact, I'm going to do a fucking video about it today. The idea that an expert in a field that is communicating something to you has the exact same weight to their opinion as you do when you are a layman glancing at something. Listen. When I look at something like this, I have as much authority as Tatum. I do. At the end of the day, we have the exact same experience and authority where virology is concerned. And we are coming to widely different opinions on things. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that we are both laymen. And the only thing that either of us are good for is communication. So, what I would suggest doing is find somebody who does know a little bit about biochemistry, does know a little bit about epidemiology. Hell, if you want a wonderful channel to go to, please go to fucking Nervardia's channel. Go to Marrow's channel. Marrow talks about this shit, and Marrow actually has expertise here. I do not. Anyway, things that are known. The Delta variant is more contagious. It's highly contagious, more than 2 times as contagious as previous variants. Some data suggests the Delta variants might cause more severe illness than previous variants in unvaccinated people. Oh, dearie me, my. Unvaccinated people remain the greatest concern. Fully vaccinated people with Delta variant breakthrough infections can spread the virus to others. However, vaccinated people appear to spread the virus for a shorter time. Holy goddamn fucking bullshit, Tatum. We literally have the information right here to show that you're talking out of your ass. Literally, everything you have said gets undermined by literally glancing at the very legible communicated information on the website that is constantly updated by experts in this fucking field. This is not difficult. Anybody can do this. Anybody can Google this shit and go to actual trusted sources. And if they want to look at the academic papers, then you have the ability to go look at papers that have proper citations. Please, for the love of fucking God. How many times do I have to say it on this channel? How many times am I going to go through this whole fucking spiel? Research. Do your research. When you are going to do your research on anything, look at the citation. Here, I did this live on stream once, and I'm going to do it again right now. We're going to go to Google Scholar, okay? And I'm going to go and use an actual fucking paper that I know of. Okay, so here we go. Doing gender. This is I'm going to show you what you're looking for when we are looking at data, okay? So this is a paper that I have cited multiple times on other videos, and even did so in debates and everything else. This is Doing Gender by Candace West and D.H. Zimmerman. Now, when you are looking at a paper, there is a red flag you can look for that will tell you the efficacy of the paper immediately. Citations. How many times is this cited? And when you click on the citations, you can see what kind of citations you're getting. So right now we have a book called Qualitative Research for Education. That is one of the times this is being cited. So this doesn't mean it cited 17,000 different sources for its stuff. The citations will be in the bibliography of the paper itself. What this means is there are 17,000 other sources that have cited this work as a part of their foundations for coming to their conclusions in their bibliographies. When you are... And hey, look, there's another one with fewer citations. Written in 2009. Because it's 30 years newer. More stuff, more research. When you are doing research on anything, please look at the citations for the things you're looking at. Please find them not because Joe Rogan brought up a random fucking thing and read the abstract to you. Actually read the fucking paper. And if you don't understand it, or you think that you might not understand it, find somebody who works in the actual field, hand them the paper, and say, can you explain it to me like I'm a fucking 12-year-old? Seriously, please do this. I beg of you. Not just you, Tatum, who's never going to watch my video, so I'm literally speaking to a phantom right now, but you, the viewer, everyone who happens to be here. If you do not understand a paper you are reading, talk to somebody. If you read Doing Gender and you don't understand it, take it to a sociologist. If you are reading a text on epidemiology and you don't understand it, take it to an epidemiologist. Please, for the love of God, learn how to research. I'm not going more into Tatum's video. I'm not. We've seen what he's doing. We've seen what he's doing. Dude is literally. We'll watch a little bit more of this video. No. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Tatum. Make me regret sharing humanity with you.
That is not working.
Right. So, Freya, that's why I pointed out that when you're looking at the citations, click on those citations and see where it is being referenced and in what way is it being referenced. Because you're right. It could be that the citations that are there, the times that article is being cited by, are in refutations. Especially if it's being cited by only a handful of sources. That's one of the reasons why numbers of citations are incredibly useful. And clicking on that citation and then seeing where it's being referenced and in what journals it's being referenced. I know it's a lot of homework. I know it sucks. I know it really, 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 really does. But dear God, it is so much better. It is infinitely better to speak with an actual proper foundation behind your rhetoric and your points than to pull stuff out of your ass, or even worse, be right but communicate your idea in such a poor way that you convince somebody you're wrong.
If the vaccine works, you shouldn't have to get what they would call a booster.
No, the booster is part of the vaccine, motherfucker. The vaccine works because there are boosters that are there to account for more variants of... Oh my God, I'm going to have to pull up why booster shots are needed. Is this a thing I'm going to have to do? Why are booster shots needed? Ba 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 ba. Let's take a look at Yale Medicine. Yeah, all sorts of vaccines have boosters. Measles has a fucking booster shot. What is a booster? The simplest answer is it's another dose of the vaccine you just received. The concept is to prolong the protective immunity, particularly if there is evidence that protection is waning after a period of time. Holy fucking gobshit. Look at this, Tatum. Look at this, you absolute troglodyte. We literally have here what a booster is and why it matters. Like, here, I'll even zoom in so it's easier for you to see, in case reading is the only option you have. Why does it change format as I zoom in? There we go. So what was the issue that was brought up by the girl at the CDC? What was the issue that was brought up, Tatum? Please, explain to me. Because when I looked at your video, the issue that you had was that effectiveness of the vaccine was waning, especially in light of the Delta variant. So when we look at what a booster shot is, what the purpose of it is because we have evidence that protection from the vaccine is waning over a period of time. That took 2 seconds. I didn't watch your goddamn video, Tatum. I watched the first 10 seconds and determined that I wanted to look at it. I wanted to talk about it on stream. I wanted to analyze your video live. It took me 10 seconds. 10 motherfucking seconds to find a paper from Yale talking about what the fuck a booster is and why it's useful. I am so sick of talking about the vaccine. But so many idiots, like Tatum, keep on pushing this idea that there's this giant conspiracy and that the vaccine is some giant fucking problem. None of y'all know how a vaccine fucking works. And those of you who think you do haven't actually talked to an epidemiologist. I'm tired. I'm very tired. I don't know. We're not playing more of your video, Tatum. We're not. We're not. We're taking a drink. We're taking a drink. Okay. Very tired. It should not be this difficult to communicate basic ideas. And yet, here we are. I'm not going to give my usual spiel. There's quite frankly no point. If you enjoyed this video, you've already hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy this video, you've already typed an essay about how I'm some shill who's been paid for by the Jews or some shit. I don't give a shit. I just don't. If you want to subscribe, please do so. My final message is not going to be insert end of video tagline here in this one. My final message here is going to be, for fuck's sake, learn how to read. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. It really means a lot to me. If you want access to behind-the-scenes content for the channel, please consider checking out my Patreon. I do weekly vlogs over there, where I give real-life updates to what's going on behind the scenes on the channel, stuff that you don't really get over here, and even on Twitch. Patreon also helps the channel's stability a whole lot. Without Patreon, I wouldn't be able to do this at all. Especially with the kind of content that I do, neither YouTube nor Twitch are the most stable sources of income. If you are a $20 and up patron, then you will be featured on the ending slides as shown in the beginning of the end credits. If you want to catch the streams where all this content comes from, then consider heading over to Twitch and following. And if you want to continue watching over here on YouTube, maybe consider clicking one of the end screen videos. And once again, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me over on my channel. I wouldn't be able to do literally anything that I'm doing over here on YouTube without each and every one of you. So, thank you.